The NBA All-Star Game just debuted a new format which has been met with some mixed feedback. Something interesting that they have with the game is that it's now first to 40 points. It kind of encourages the players in a way to play harder since it won't even be for that long. I personally mess with it, but that's honestly because I didn't even watch the game. The team that ended up winning was Team Unk, drafted by Shaquille O'Neal. So let's not waste any more time because you already read the damn title. Could this team defeat a roster made up of only characters from Zenless Zone Zero? So Team Shaq is basically a collection of all the OG players plus Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Since LeBron James and AD ducked the game, we will also assume that they will not participate in this one either. The old head squad's best asset is obviously Stephen Curry and Jason Tatum, with the former of the two also being the All-Star Game MVP. Kevin Durant is also pretty good, and James Harden and Damian Lillard are good players as well. But obviously, this is a 3-guard lineup with no center, but it might honestly benefit them. With this lineup, they can basically run and gun, making possessions really short. And with Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown on the bench, it further exemplifies this playstyle. JB can sub in for the 3 whenever the opposing team starts going on runs, and Kyrie can start clip farming whenever they're up. But other than that, there's not much versatility for them. Now let's look at the competition. For this Zenless squad, I only chose male characters because it's the NBA, and also the females would cook the all-star team with just Miyabi and Evelyn alone. At guard, we have Asaba Harumasa and Billy Kidd. For the small forward, we have Lighter. Power forward is Lycon, and the center is Ben Bigger. On the bench, in no particular order, there's Anton, Seth Lowell, and I decided to throw Wise in there too because why the hell not? Unlike the other two big Hoyoverse games, Zenless actually has characters that are tall. In this case, only Harumasa is below 6 feet tall. Lycon is the tallest on the team at 6'6", but we all know that Ben is gonna be bodying everyone at 6'5" and 400 pounds. Shooting on this team would also be pretty decent, with both of the guards being able to sink a 3. The mismatch would likely come with Lighter. While it's true that he is strong as hell, I don't think he's guarding KD and Tatum. This whole game is gonna be positionless, so matchups don't matter, but he can't defend other forwards. And on the offensive end, he can't score anywhere except the interior. Remember, these games are first to 40 points, so the 3 ball is what you want to have in here. Harumasa may be tiny, but at least he can sink a 3-pointer when it matters. So if anything, Lighter's main role would likely be to play defense. That's pretty much the same thing for people like Anton and Seth as well. For Ben and Lycon, they're pretty much the only ones that can compete inside without issue. Not only because they can lock down Team Shaq's forwards, but also because who the fuck is stopping them? You cannot convince me that Jason Tatum, Mr. D Anomaly, Big Deuce, the Green Mamba, Mr. We Did It, could stop a literal bear in the post.
Ride the highway, ride the bus.
And speaking of which, now that we know the teams, let's theorize about the game. First of all, I actually think that Team ZZZ would get the ball first. Lycon's vertical is pretty insane, so there's that to take into account. But anyways, I feel as if Harumasa and Billy would likely be bricking their shots for the first few minutes. While it's true that they can shoot, they aren't necessarily consistent. Harumasa would also be getting hunted on defense by KD and Tatum, so that's something to take note of. However, if the shooting isn't working, then Ben would definitely be there for the offensive board. Try fighting a box out from a bear. And if Ben doesn't grab the rebound, then Lycon would easily be there to chase the ball down. Pretty much the only way for Team Shaq to score would be to get a fast break going. ZZZ characters may be fast, but I believe in the shooting of Team Shaq. If anything, it's impossible for them to not be good at shooting because 70% of the team is fucking guards. Curry and KD would definitely be hard carrying, and Jason Tatum would probably be trying to clip farm if we're being honest. I'm not hating though, because if he remembers he's 6'9", he would definitely be balling out this game. I think the game would be extremely close until the score hits around 25. Afterwards, it's all downhill from there for Team Shaq. Jaylen Brown could sub in to defend Lycon maybe, but it's definitely not enough. At this point in the game, Harumasa and Billy will have found their rhythm and start shooting from outside. Ben would still be dominating the post, and Lycon would be putting up Dennis Rodman numbers with offensive boards. Lighter would likely get subbed out for Anton just for the extra height, in which case even the guards wouldn't be scoring for Team Shaq. And basically, the game would just be an ass whooping from the ZZZ squad where they win 42-28. You gotta remember that everyone on the ZZZ squad is stupid fast, and both teams will barely be playing defense anyway. It all comes down to who has the better offense, and that factor leans towards ZZZ. And there you have a really short summary about the All-Star Game versus Zenless Zone Zero. If you're wondering what would happen with AD and LeBron playing, Team Shaq would probably win if I'm being honest. Call me a glazer, but AD could defend everyone except for Ben. And LeBron's impact would come from a lot more than just scoring and defense. That's pretty much all though. I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing. And until next time.